This is how it happens with the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. So, I'm going to give you an example of an illustration of how perhaps your life was going when you met the narcissist and subsequent events that took place. Jumping in right now. Imagine, if you will, you were driving in a car. Yes, your car. You were driving on an open road and you kept on going wherever you wanted to go, whatever direction you wanted to go. This is before you met the narcissist. This is a metaphor, an example. So stay with me on this journey and see where it takes you. You will be amazed at what happens at the end of this journey. But you're in the car, you're driving, and everything's going well, and the sun's shining, and everything is going extremely the way you want it to be going. Everything's an adventure, it's new, you're exploring, you're learning, you're becoming educated, and you want to dip your toe into this thing called life. Well, what happens? Next thing you know, you're driving. As you're driving, you're looking, and everything appears to be getting better and better and better. Then you look up in the distance, and then you see a person way up in the distance. And you look, and you see that that person appears to have a broken car. The car is broken down. So what do? Here's where it all gets interesting. Of course, you pull over because you don't know who the person is that you're about to help out. Well, that person, we know who they turn out to be, and I'm not going to say that word. I'll try not to say it for the rest of this video. But that person has a broken down car. They're waving you over. You pull over on the side of the road. Remember, everything's going extremely well. You're on top of the world. You've got money, your health, time, energy. You want to help people. You're committed. You're just living a great life. Well, this person waves you over, and they're telling you that the car is broken down. Not only that they don't have gas and they have a couple flat tires, but the radiator is busted or whatever else are in cars these days. It's not functioning. And they say, hey, can you take a look at it? Maybe you could fix it. And you say to them, well, I'm not a car repair person, but I'll take a look at it. And then you say, nope, can't do anything here. We could call the AAA company or the company to help you out, or it's probably easier because your car's so beaten down. Why don't you jump in my car? And what do they say? They reluctantly say, well, I'm not so sure. And they're making it appear like they really don't want to do it. But under their breath, this is exactly what they want to do. You see, they had just laid out a trap. Their trap was the broken down car on the freeway, seeing that you had a brand new car and you were a brand new person, i.e. the shiny new object. So then they ask you to help them get some of their gear out of their car, and they move it into yours, and you double check, you make sure, hey, do you have everything? Because that's what you do. And they, without even looking, they say, no, I've got it all, I'm good, let's just go. And they go. Now you're driving, and you look up in the distance, and it's not as sunshiny as it used to be. There's a little bit of clouds way up in the distance, but it's not as beautiful and pristine as that used to be, but it's still a great day, a great afternoon. And this person who's now in the passenger side of your car is asking you questions. And they're not only asking you questions, but they're now talking about the answers to the questions that you're giving them about yourself and everything. Now they're leveraging who their ex is. Now their ex is what you are focusing on, because what you're doing is you're hearing a sob story in the car that you own and you're driving a toxic person in to God knows where. You're listening to their sob story. As you're listening to them, you're asking them more questions. They are no longer learning as much about you. They are now planting seeds, and they're planting a mindset in you that is not real. They're now throwing their ex or their current spouse, whoever it is, somebody under the bus. They're painting that person pitch black, like they didn't change the oil, they left them penniless, they didn't check the air pressure in the tires, or they kicked them out of the house, or they left them destitute. Whatever the song and dance was the person you're giving the ride to was, they started telling you about that. And you are in disbelief. And what are you doing? Now you're not necessarily driving where you were going. Now you're asking them, hey, should we take you to a hotel? Should we get you a place to stay? Or should we get you medical, someone to look at you? Or should we get the tow truck? What should we do for you? You see, already your attention and your energy has shifted from yourself to this person. You may say, yeah, that's similar to what happened to me. How did that happen? Well, stay with the video and I'll explain to you how it happened. But notice, a person set a trap. You fell into it, and now you're believing what they're telling them. Okay, remember, you don't know anything about the types of behaviors that are out there. So you're driving, and you're driving and driving. Finally, you pull over somewhere, and let's say you get them a hotel or a motel room. You get your own hotel or motel room, and you say, hey, I'll stay with you till you get your car fixed. Let's say it's the weekend. You have a little bit of time. And remember, this is an example. And you stay in different rooms, and You put them up. Okay, well, morning happens, and what do? You talk to them and say, hey, the mechanic's coming over, boom, 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 and they're like, wow, you're really helping me out. I really appreciate this. Thank you. I didn't ever thought I would find somebody so nice. And what do? Well, they're asking you to grab breakfast with them, etc., whatever, because remember, they need a ride back to the car, and you're their only lifeline at this point, or so you think. Anyway, fast forwarding, you go back to the scene of the crime. The mechanic is there. The mechanic says, this car is broken. It's totaled. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to tow it to the junkyard, and maybe I can give you a couple $100 for it, whatever, who knows. And the person you're considering, they already knew most of this. And truth be told, the car wasn't even theirs. It was somebody else's. And they had no business driving that. They probably stole it or just temporarily borrowed it, if you get my point. Anyway, you cut it. They don't care about the car, but they wanted to set the stage, so they make it appear like now they don't know where to go. So the mechanic goes, the car is gone, and now this person, who you know what they turn out to be, yes, very toxic, they're talking to more, and they're saying, hey, I'm kind of penniless. I don't really have much going on here. Maybe you could help me out for a couple more days. And here we go. What do? Now you say, sure, jump in the car. Now again, this is an example. It's a metaphor. It's an illustration. You jump in the car and you say, yeah, you could stay at my place for a couple days, but then you're going to have to get going, or you're going to have to find a job or something, but I can't. I have my own life to live. And they jump in the car and say, sure, no problem. Well, what happens then? You look at the windshield of your car, and there's a little crack in the windshield. There wasn't one there before. There's a little crack. And you look at it and you say to yourself, that's weird. How did that crack get there? And what do? You pay it no attention. You drive. This person's in the car, and you take them back home. And again, an illustration or an example, or you put them up someplace. Maybe you put them up at a friend's place, or maybe you give them a guest room. I don't know what you do, but you're trying to help them out because you're a good human being. And as you're helping them out, they're asking you for more and more access, more of your time, more of your direction, more of you proofreading their CVs or proofreading how they could get a job, or your connections. And you're finding that you're not doing what you're usually doing. Most of your attention and energy is going into this person. And as you're doing what you're doing, every once in a while you jump in your car and you have to go to work and you do what you do. And you look at your windshield, and the windshield has not only a tiny little crack, now it's got a couple cracks, spider webs, if you will, little spider web cracks. And you can't figure out how those things got there. Well, what happens? Lo and behold, now this narcissist, sorry I said it, I tried my best. Now this person who turns out to be toxic, now they're claiming they can't get a job, and they're claiming that their foot hurts, and that they can't pay their bills and all these things. And now let's fast forward, say they've been living under your roof for a couple months. I really fast forwarded there, but stay with me. Now this person's made themselves very comfortable in your house, extremely comfortable. Now they're complaining about what you're buying, what time you're coming home, what time you're not coming home, what you're doing. And the whole time, things in your life are not going well, which means you don't have the pep in your step you used to have. You don't have the energy you used to have. The windshield in your car, which is very telling, now has multiple cracks, little spider webs. And now you are finding yourself spread very thin, kind of like a spider web. The person you're considering, they have now really taken advantage of your hospitality. They are now not cleaning up after themselves. They are now being belligerent, maybe using curses or F-bombs. And now they're saying, hey, listen, you didn't have to help me out. You did. And I've been trying, and I've been looking to get a job, but I'm doing the best I can. Now tensions are rising in your house. Now I know some of this story may be a little bit far-fetched, because for you to pick up a complete stranger and put them up in your house for months, that would be a very far reach, but people do it and people have done it. And I am not suggesting to do this by any means. It's an illustration. And this person is now becoming belligerent. They're becoming entitled. You see, what's happening is their mask is slipping, and they now figured out who you are, and they now figured out that you don't know who they are, and they now know they can take more and more advantage of you by playing the game longer. Fast forwarding, now your windshield is covered with dust. It's covered with dirt. It hasn't been cleaned in months. The spider webs are everywhere. You can still see out of it and still see through it, but you don't see the sun shining. You don't see the abundance and the positivity and the energy. What you see in the horizon when you're driving your car is you see clouds, you see darkness. The sun isn't shining nearly as much. You see the lens that you were looking through, which was the windshield of the car that you own. It's been tainted. It's now dirty. It's now cracked. It's now not the same. This is your narcissistic relationship in a nutshell. So what did you keep doing? You kept driving that car. And every once in a while you would try to give the windshield a wash or the car a wash, and You could scrape the scum and the dirt off of the car, but the windshield itself being cracked and the little layers of film on the windshield, they're not fully coming off. Just like the residue from the narcissist doesn't fully come off in one fell swoop. So as time progresses, this person is now telling you who you saved them essentially, but remember, everything they told you was a house of cards. It was a lie built upon another lie and upon another lie, because the person you quote unquote rescued or saved or helped or assisted, they're a narcissist. You didn't know it back then. You weren't taught this in school. So now what this person's saying to you is, I think I can get a job in another 4 months, but for me to do that, I'm going to need a couple $1,000. I'm going to need a car. I'm going to need my credit card to be caught up with, paid, and I'm going to need to take some courses, or they say whatever they want to say. And now you're thinking to yourself, how the hell did I get myself in this situation? Why this person is still squatting in my house? Why they haven't left? Why they're demanding money and things from me? And how could I have fallen for this? Those are just 4 questions that you're asking yourself. You're asking yourself a lot more than that. Example, what the hell happened here? How did my life go sideways? I don't even know this person. How did I even pull over and help them out? And why did I give so much of myself? These are more questions you're asking yourself. So then eventually, again, you don't know what narcissism is. You weigh the pros and cons and you say, wait a minute, it's going to cost me about $3 or $4 grand to get them out of my house. That's if they accept the deal or the circumstances that they told me. If I agree to them, who knows if they'll do that. But if it's going to cost me $3, $4, $5 grand to get them out of my house, it's going to take me a few months to recover that money. But what do? Do I wait it out and see if this person actually gets a job and they leave on their own? Or do I cut the cord, cut the cable, cut the ties? Emotional, financial, physical, spiritual ties now. Get them the money, get them out of my life, go no contact, lose their number, and maybe relocate the day after. These are the kind of decisions that you had to make. Again, an example. Well, what did you eventually do? Over time, you realized that the person who infiltrated your life, yes, the narcissist, luring you into a web and multiple webs using a fake or stolen car that broke down in the freeway because they were kicked to the curb by their former source of supply. Yeah, the narcissist using this example was discarded, but they leveraged that into glomming onto you. What you didn't realize, or what you're realizing, is that that person is a professional. They're a professional grifter. They're a professional abuser. They are a professional person who milks the system, or bilks with a B, bilks the system. They find loopholes in people's mindset. They find loopholes in circumstances and in communities. They find loopholes in rules and regulations. And what they want to do is just live an easy, free life full of manipulation and toxicity while having other people pay for it. There's your narcissist right there. So what you said to yourself before I close the video is you said, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to give them a couple more months. Maybe they'll do it. But you're really growing thin on patience, and your money's going to zero. You now have credit card debt. You've lost weight or gained weight. You're not working the way you used to be working. People are questioning your performance, etc. See, everything's falling apart because this one person is in your house. A person you didn't even know a couple months ago. Truth be told, you don't know them now, and you'll never know them because they're a narcissist. But what do? They made your life so uncomfortable that eventually you succumbed. You gave in. You said, you know what, I'll give you the $3 grand. Just get the hell out of here and lose my number. Boom, boom, boom. And they said, oh, you're going to accept the $3 grand? Well, I need 6 now. And then you're saying, but wait, you told me 3. What's going on here? And they're like, no, I need more things now. And you're like, okay, take the 6, just get out of here. And they look at you. They smirk, they chuckle, they laugh, they mock. The pupils of their eyes swell up like beach balls full of supply, pitch black. And they say, yep, got another one. And this 6 grand, which I'll turn into 7 or 8 grand because I'll ask for more money and I still will make their life uncomfortable till they give me this money. This life will ride me through for maybe a month or 2. And what will I do? Do the exact same thing, but maybe this time with a broken down motorcycle. Maybe a apartment I'll claim I'm being evicted from. Maybe a job I'll claim that I was hired at for a week and I slipped on the ground intentionally and blamed the manager for not cleaning up the water stain that was never there, but I spilled a cup of water to make it seem that way. Do you see what I'm saying here? The narcissist mind will go to places that you can't even fathom. The narcissist will do whatever they can do to stick themselves to another person's beautiful, bright, shining light. The narcissist will stick to a person like gum underneath your shoe. Remember when you were a kid in high school? You'd step on a piece of gum and you'd be like, oh, son of a gun, my new Chuck Taylors, my Converse. They have gum all over the canvas. What's going on here? Well, there's your narcissist right there. They're the gum below your shoe. And you have to get rid of them as soon as you possibly can. So using that example with the windshield and the cracked windshield and everything else, that's what happens. You have a beautiful, pristine windshield before you meet the narcissist. Everything's looking up, it's looking beautiful and great. And once you let them in that car, or your life, as the illustration example illustrated, then you see things begin to fall apart. You can't see as clearly as you used to. There's layers of film, there's cracks in the armor, there's spider webs of cracks everywhere, and before you know it, it's too late, because that person you're considering, yes, the narcissist, infiltrated your life, knowingly, willingly, and deliberately, knowing you didn't know who they were or what they would do to you. So that is an example, a very long example, but my hope is you resonate with the video of what the narcissist can do. You see, you were driving in your own car, living a peaceful life. You picked up this complete stranger on the freeway because they claimed they needed help. They didn't need help, they needed a supply source. And remember, everything isn't how it appears to be on this planet called Earth. And everyone, and I mean everyone, reveals themselves in time. I've revealed myself, the narcissist has revealed themselves billions of times. And my hope is you've revealed yourself. So any way you cut it, you need to get as far away from said person as fast as you possibly can. The narcissist will never change. They will only continue to deteriorate over time, continue to break relationships, continue to be stranded on the side of the road, broken down, claiming they need help. They don't need help. What they need is a new, beautiful, bright, shining light to try to steal from. The days of them having access to beautiful, bright, shining lights are closed. They're over. They're finished. They're never coming back now or ever again in the future. I love you all. God bless you. So that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you're not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Couple quick things. A nature update. One, you heard the beautiful hawk a moment ago. On cue again. Number two, I haven't been up here in 4 days or so because of the rain we've had. And my friend, the turtle, was to the left of me, and I created a 2-minute video. If any of you are interested in seeing it, it's a really good video of the turtle. I can make it a short and show it to you. It's absolutely spectacular. The turtle's gorgeous, beautiful. I think it's a different turtle. But anyway, I want to share with you, I saw the turtle. And as far as the video that I created right now is concerned, understand, the narcissist is lurking everywhere. They're in broken down cars. They're in moving cars. They're in cars that are just bought. They're in cars that are in the used car lot. The narcissist is the used car salesman. The narcissist is the brand new car salesman. The narcissist is the teacher, the professor. They're your neighbor. They're your parent. They're your colleague. They're the person on the bus, the plane, the train, the automobile. They're everywhere. Now, every single person isn't the narcissist. What I'm sharing is you need to maintain your boundaries. And you need to understand that you are stronger than you know, but you have to apply the tools and go no contact. If not now, when? I love you all. God bless you. And let me know about that video because I will easily post it. I hope this video resonated with you. Like it, share it, subscribe, and pay it forward to anyone, and I mean anyone who could use the wisdom. I'll connect with you tomorrow. God bless you. I love you all. Have a great day. Bye, everybody. Bye.